Yep, that's wrong. At some point over the last 2 weeks, you probably woke up one morning thinking, oh my God, what have I done? I feel awful, I feel nauseous, I feel like I've overindulged in something. But what was it? And the chances are that it was actually too much chocolate, because at this time of year, it's quite easy to find yourself with a box of roses and just eat all of it without realising what you've done. You sat watching a film and you're going, oh my God, roses, and just eat the lot. So it's quite easy to do this, and there's a couple of reasons for it. It's mostly because your brain is programmed to accept sugar and fat and won't stop accepting it.
That's right.
You've got no inbuilt triggers. And crap chocolate, to be fair, is crap chocolate. It's loaded with more sugar and fat than the things in your head that you actually need. So this time of year, everybody kind of makes a New Year's resolution which goes, I'm never going to eat chocolate again, or at least until Easter. And then you get to January the 7th and you suddenly find yourself desperately needing a Kit Kat. But this is what actually goes into most mass commercially produced chocolate these days. There's loads of stuff in there that ordinarily you wouldn't need. So maybe instead of thinking about having chocolate, what you actually need is better quality chocolate. You need the things that makes your head work properly. This is a property of chocolate that is incorrectly stored. It's been melted and it's been reformed, and it goes a bit wrong and it forms a bloom over the surface. And this is because the chocolate has become untempered. Inside chocolate is a thing called cocoa butter, which forms crystals at different temperatures. And when it is correctly formed into what's called a beta 5 configuration, it's a bit technical, the taste of chocolate is much more pronounced. So all the flavour of chocolate that you associate with it, and there's at least 400 different flavours that build up into the flavour of chocolate that you know and love, which your brain really tells you about. And when you get your cocoa butter in the right structure for this, the right crystalline structure, then it tastes more like chocolate than chocolate does. So the difference between a bar of dairy milk and a bar of some European processed stuff is incredible. It tastes so much more chocolatey. It's so much more. This is a thing called ganache, which is apparently French for idiot, although I don't know whether that's a myth or not. But it's formed by mixing chocolate with cream. So if you have melted chocolate, if you melt chocolate in cream, you can form what's known as truffle. And this is the recipe on how to do this. For good quality chocolate, you need twice as much dark chocolate as you have cream, 2.5 times milk and white chocolate to cream. But the important thing to do is to make sure that the chocolate doesn't over-melt. Chocolate that you buy in shops is tempered, but if you overheat it, the cocoa butter crystals will melt and you'll get untempered chocolate and it'll taste rubbish, it'll taste wrong, it'll have the wrong texture to it. We're back to this cocoa butter forming crystals thing. So you just got to be very careful with it. When you've got your ganache, you can flavour it. You flavour it with what makes chocolate taste interesting. So we're talking oranges or alcohol, mint, other fruit flavours, things like that. So you can mix a little bit of that into the cream and you'll get flavoured chocolates. This is the sort of chocolate that you get if you use white chocolate, the sort of truffle that you get if you use white chocolate instead of dark chocolate or dark chocolate instead of white chocolate. And you get a very different flavour profile, and it's quite exciting to experiment with different flavours. And if you go home tonight and have a go at this kind of thing, have a go at trying different types of chocolate, different types of cream, different types of flavouring, exciting things that make your taste buds sing. So, for example, this Christmas I made a bunch of chocolates that were a jar of marmalade that had just blitzed up and stirred into melted chocolate, and they came out incredible. It's something really simple and elegant that makes life an awful lot easier. But if you do a lot of different varieties of chocolate, make sure that you can easily identify which one it is. In that last slide, I just suddenly discovered the joys of coloured cocoa butter, and I went nuts. I made hundreds of different colours of cocoa buttered shapes. And then I hadn't a clue what I'd actually put inside them, which is a bit of a shock because in there was some mango and gorgonzola chocolates, which were lovely. They were delicious, but a bit of a shock when you're expecting raspberry praline, something like that. And then as you get better and more into this, you start developing new techniques and new processes, and you find yourself going, I can buy this in the shop, or I could make this myself at home. And I really want to experiment and try and do that kind of thing, and there isn't time to do it all, but it's worth doing. And then you get these homemade Christmas presents that you can give to people, or for birthdays and things like that, and you just get this process. But in the end of it, crap chocolate is crap chocolate. There is a time and a place for it, and Easter is just around the corner. I've got some chocolates on the table, by the way. If anybody wants to come and say hello, you feel free to come and welcome. And thanks very much.